Prime Field.
The Huskies opened an exhibition game at Peoples Bank Arena with a defensive sequence that set the tone for the entire night. UConn allowed 5 points in the opening quarter and 16 by halftime. The game ended 105-39. The central question: what did this performance reveal about UConn's readiness, tactically, personnel-wise, and structurally, as the regular season approaches? This script examines the game as a diagnostic. It focuses on defense as a deliberate philosophy, turnover generation and transition scoring, the role of established stars, the emergence of young guards, lineup experiments, and the bench depth that backed the victory. Each chapter draws only from the facts of the exhibition and post-game remarks. Transitioning from a striking defensive first quarter to the details that followed illuminates the team's preparation. The next chapter explains how that defense was created and measured. The Huskies' opening quarter was definitive. Southern Connecticut scored 0 points for the final 7 minutes of that quarter. UConn put together a 23-0 run in that stretch. Southern Connecticut did not score again until 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. Measured across the game, UConn forced 32 turnovers. 24 of those came on steals. The Huskies converted those opponent mistakes into 36 points. The numbers reflect aggressive intent on the defensive end. The team's pressure did not merely disrupt possession. It produced direct scoring opportunities. Junior point guard KK Arnold framed up the approach succinctly. That's a big focal point for our team, is being that aggressor on defense, which will create for more of our transition game and more of our offensive game. That really starts our energy. The quote links the defensive plan to offensive construction. The next chapter traces how those forced turnovers translated into transition scoring and offensive balance. Turnovers became a currency. 32 forced turnovers produced 36 points. The conversion rate demonstrates an ability to turn defensive success into tangible scoring benefits. UConn's offense was not a single-threaded attack. The Huskies spread scoring widely. 13 players registered points. The bench contributed 48 points. Those totals indicate that the team translated depth and defensive disruption into a broad offensive output rather than concentrated scoring from a single lineup. This balance had strategic implications. It allowed rotation experimentation without a sharp decline in production. The discussion of individual performances clarifies which players supplied that balance. The following chapter focuses on the performance of the team's experienced scorer, Azzi Fudd. Azzi Fudd presented a focused offensive performance from the opening minutes. She scored the team's first 2 field goals on back-to-back possessions and led UConn with 8 points less than 5 minutes into the first quarter, shooting 3 for 4 at that early mark. By halftime, Fudd had a team-high 14 points and was 4 for 7 from three-point range. She added a 5th three-pointer in the second half and finished with 21 points. The redshirt senior also recorded 4 assists and 5 steals. The stat line demonstrates a combination of scoring, playmaking, and defensive activity in the same game. Fudd's night served as an anchor for the offense. Her scoring and ball distribution were part of UConn's multi-pronged attack. The next chapter examines the contributions from the younger guards who complemented that veteran presence. Several younger guards provided notable complementary performances. Allie Ziebell played limited minutes in the first half, approximately 6.5, and made immediate impact. She hit a 3 soon after entering the game and entered halftime with 10 points, shooting 66.7% from the field and 2 for 4 on three-pointers. She finished with 13 points and added a block. Coach Geno Auriemma summarized her game. The things that she's good at are the things that she did today. She's a really good shooter. She's pretty smart. She's quicker than she looks at getting to that first step by you, and she's smart defensively. Kayleigh Heckel, a transfer from USC, showed clearer comfort than in the first exhibition. She produced 4 steals, scored 7 points on 3 for 6 shooting, and contributed 3 assists with 3 rebounds. Observers noted that Heckel is still assimilating into UConn's system, but her defensive output and all-around contributions indicated no major drop-off when substituting for starting point guard KK Arnold. Freshman Kelis Fisher logged 13 minutes and displayed controlled decision-making. She made 1 field goal on 2 attempts, scored 5 points, took no fouls, and committed 2 turnovers. She also shot 100% from the free throw line. Her performance suggested steadier composure in a second collegiate game. These guard performances extended UConn's capacity for varied lineups. The following chapter details the coach's lineup experiments and how the front court was deployed. The coaching staff used the exhibition as a laboratory. Geno Auriemma worked through a dozen different lineups. Wisconsin transfer Serah Williams appears positioned as the starting center, but she played only 6 minutes in the first half as the staff tested multiple combinations. Coach Auriemma tried guard-heavy groupings, at times deploying 4 perimeter shooters plus freshman forward Blanca Quiñonez. Heckel, Fisher, and Arnold rotated as multiple ball handlers. That approach provided ball distribution options beside Azzi Fudd and Sarah Strong, both described in the brief as competent passers. The front court showed positional flexibility. Quiñonez and Sarah Strong saw minutes both at center and on the wing. Strong finished with a near triple-double. 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists, plus 2 blocks and 2 steals. Quiñonez posted 12 points, 3 blocks, and 3 steals, offset by a team-high 6 turnovers, reflecting some early career growing pains. Coach Auriemma contextualized the experiments. Some groups look better than others. If we have the wrong combinations out there, someone who's really, really good won't look as good. We just have to put them out there with certain combinations that make them look good. That evaluation underscores the purpose of the rotations, to identify complementary groupings rather than to adjudicate individual ability in isolation. The next chapter chronicles availability and bench production, framing how depth influenced the game plan. Availability shaped rotation decisions. Sophomore Morgan Cheli was unavailable with an ankle injury. Freshman Gandy Malou-Mamel was inactive after being whacked pretty good in practice. Despite those absences, every available player received minutes in the win. Depth translated into measurable production. 13 different players scored. The bench contributed 48 points. Those totals provided the staff with both confidence in rotation options and a practical way to preserve starters while still maintaining offensive output. The combination of depth, defensive pressure, and scoring balance produced the final narrative point, what this game suggests about UConn's trajectory entering the regular season. This exhibition served as a final tune-up before the season opener on November 4th against numbered 20 Louisville. The game supplied several concrete takeaways: a clearly articulated defensive identity, the ability to convert turnovers into points, establish scoring from Azzi Fudd, developmental progress among younger guards, and usable lineup variations that showcase positional versatility. The Huskies' defensive aggression created transition opportunities and allowed for measured rotation experimentation. The bench showed offensive depth, individual statistical lines, Fudd's 21 points, Strong's near triple-double, Quiñonez's two-way activity, and the guards' assorted contributions provide a factual basis for roster planning. The immediate legacy from this exhibition is practical rather than declarative. The performance generated data points for coaching decisions heading into November. The team left Peoples Bank Arena having tested combinations, validated depth, and reinforced a defensive focal point. Those facts will now form the basis for adjustments before the regular season opener, and frame expectations for how UConn might deploy personnel when competitive pressure increases.
Prime Field